So you are looking for a good, solid PVE farming build in Albion Online. You want something that'll farm you up really fast, good fame farming, pretty good sustain, nothing too complicated. Well, today's video, I have the build for you. And that is going to be the one-handed nature staff with a hunter hood, mercenary jacket, and soldier's boots. You can also trade out your hunter hood for like a mage cowl if you want just a little bit extra damage with the fire breath ability, or a cleric's cowl if you want to be able to have this knockback while fighting mobs, or this little immunity channel thing here with the freezing. But for a general build, you can do the hunter hood. Doesn't really matter. The hunter hood's really more of a PvP thing, so it probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and swap this for a mage cowl just for that extra little bit of damage. And then you want to, so on your one-handed nature staff, what you want to do is run the thorn growth ability on your Q and the bramble seed ability on your W. The E, of course, obviously will be the normal E. And then you're going to want to run the energetic passive because you're going to be farming so quickly that you're going to run out of energy if you're not running this. And that's essentially it. You run into a spot, like you got your pork omelet, So you run into a spot, you Q, hit them with a W, and by that time with your omelets, your Q will be ready again. Use whatever tier omelets you can afford. As you can see, we're using a lot of mana, but this thing, you get 3 Qs, and that does damage over time, and it slows. So your enemies are going to be melted in this, and then you can slap a mage cowl in there for added effect every 30 seconds. If you're running like you're going to be hurt and you can't heal up fast enough, you can pop your E, which will give you healing, and it also does damage, which is why I like the one-handed staff. If they're in this, your E also does extra damage to your enemies, so that gives you a heal and some damage, and it's got a nice low cooldown. So that's the reason why I like the one-handed nature staff over something like a druidic staff or whatever. And then if you really need more healing, you've got your mercenary jacket as a backup, and you've got your soldier boots, rejuvenating sprint. You can take poisons with this. You don't have to. You also can take a demon cape for just that extra little bit. Once you auto attack them and you slow them and whatever, they're stuck. Then the demon cape for just that extra bit of damage. You could also do a Thetford cape if you're confident, but if you want to manage your pools very well, a demon cape is what I really recommend. Torch offhand because they're cheap and they give you a good cooldown modifier. And like I said, whatever tier omelets you can afford because they're going to increase your cooldown rate or decrease whatever, like 13.5%. So that's going to be nice. But yeah, just a very, very solid, well-rounded build. Very good at killing enemies. I'm going to throw some footage up on screen where you see me rolling around some mist and just absolutely farming mobs. Now, do note this is not a PvP build. You will suffer in PvP. You will struggle in PvP. This is not something that you take into PvP with these skills. You can PvP if you swap over to like the channel W and you kind of are very, very good and very, very careful and watch how you like kite enemies and etc. You can PvP, but it is definitely not a PvP build. So just take note of that. Now I'm going to cut over to some gameplay and we'll show you what I'm talking about with the clear speeds and that sort of thing. All right, so here we go. We're in a standard tier 6 mist. I need to let my thing come off cooldown here. Come on, there we go. And I didn't eat any food before this fight, but this is just essentially what you can do with this build. You see there we got like 2k fame for that mob. We're gonna get some fame for doing this quite a bit, and as long as you're paying attention, right, you shouldn't have any problems with other players in the mist. You shouldn't really get ganked. As long as you're watching your, like when someone pops up, you get away or whatever, you shouldn't have any problems at all with getting ganked with this build. But if someone does attack you, you're kind of hopeless in PvP. Like there's not really a lot you can do. But as you can see in these black zone mists, they're really good fame right now. And that was a bad mistake. They're really good fame right now. And that's something right there that you don't want to do. You definitely do not want to walk away from your mount. But you can do the little camps, which let's see. Maybe there's a camp here. Maybe. It doesn't look like there's any camps on this map. So some maps have camps, some of them don't. But you can do the little camps for big fame. Or you can just roll around killing these mobs for big fame. And this setup is going to allow you to do it so easily, along with a bunch of like plenty of self-healing, so you'll be able to sustain yourself in these fights. So it's very, very, very good setup for the black zone open world farming. It's good for farming dungeons. It's just good all around. It's not good at PvP though. As long as you're doing PvE, you should be just fine with this build. There's really not going to be anything you struggle with PvE wise because you have so much sustain and you have excellent damage and excellent AoE damage. But essentially, this is just how you farm in the mist. And I'm going to have a detailed guide coming out on fame farming or farming in general in the mist very, very soon. But this is just the basics of it. You're just going to kill these mobs and try and stay alive. I'll talk about the yellow zone and the black zone in that video and the benefits of both. You get plenty of Brazilian standing just for doing that, and plenty of might farming this. So really, really good to do, especially if you're in a guild. You want to get your Conqueror's Challenge done. Like if we pull up here, let's close that. We pull up here and look like if you want to get this Conqueror's Challenge done, farming might in the mist is a very good place to do so. But that's about all we've got for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one where we talk more about Albion Online in some capacity, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, like the video. Tell me how I've done in the comments down below, and what you'd like to see a video on, or what you'd like to see me do better. Also, I do stream on Twitch over at the top link in the description below. It should be twitch.tv/HamboneYT, but I'm not positive that I have that link nailed down, but I will know by the end of the next video. But check me out on Twitch as well. Have a great rest of your day.